This video is going to be about 19 minutes of pure content. Get rid of any form of distraction and make sure that you place your focus on everything that I'm doing. I'm going to be showing us how I embellished this particular headband. I have already uploaded the first part of this video where I showed how the main headband design was made. If you have not seen that video, I'm going to link it on the screen. Click on that video so you get to see how the main headband was made. In today's video, I'll be showing you how I beaded and embellished this entire headband, how I sewed on the claw stones, sewed on the beads, the types of beads that I used, the sizes of beads that I used, and all other important information. So if you want to know all about this process, please make sure you watch this video to the end. Please share with your friends and family, people that you know that would love this type of content. Please subscribe if you're yet to subscribe and all that jazz. Leave your comments with your questions and suggestions. And yeah, guys, let's get into the meat and the potatoes of today's video. Let's go. To start off, these are the accessories that you'll be using. You need your claw stones. I have my big claw stones. I have my regular pearls in color black. I have my sequins, okay? I also have my size 4 and size 6 crystal beads. If you don't know your sizes of your crystal beads, when you go to shop for your crystal beads, please mention the sizes that I just mentioned in this video, or go higher than what I'm using, and then buy your crystal beads or seed beads or your pearls, whatever. I have a full-blown video on beads and everything you need to know about beads. I'm going to link that video on the screen. Watch that video so you know everything I'm talking about. This is my seed bead right here, and I'm also going to use a different type of claw stone. This is the claw stone right here, and I'm also going to use this type of pipe beads, okay, or rice beads, depending on what your seller calls it, okay? And that's what it looks like right there on my palm. This is the first pattern that we are going to be creating in this particular video. It's a combination of sequins, crystal beads, pipe beads, claw stones, and seed beads, okay? So if you would like to know everything, please continue to watch. To start off, you need a small piece of fabric that is cut into like a round shape, just like what I have here on here, okay? The next thing you want to do is to sew on your claw stone at the center. You guys remember when I spoke about claw stones and other forms of embellishments? If you've not seen that video, I believe I linked it earlier. Scroll down to the bottom of the description bar and you'll find that video there. But I told us that claw stones have little holes at the bottom, and don't worry, in this video as well I'm going to show you the little holes. So what you want to do is to first of all do your first stitch and then pass your needle and thread through that small hole underneath the claw stone. I'm going to zoom in now and show you. Can you guys see the little hole at the bottom right there that I'm showing us exactly? So that's where I'm going to pass my needle and thread through, and then pass my needle and thread through the fabric that I'm trying to sew the claw stone onto. In case what I'm saying is not doing it for you, more than listening to what I'm saying, please watch carefully, okay? And I'm going to repeat that same process the second time just to make sure that my claw stone is properly secured on this piece of fabric that I'm sewing it onto. And just in case you're curious, I'm using the size 11 beading needle, and I'm using my regular polyester thread for this particular work. Feel free to use your invisible thread or use a bigger or smaller size of beading needle. It's all your call. I'm just sharing exactly what I'm using in this video. So now that I'm sure that I've secured my claw stone onto my fabric, it's time for me to now sew my pipe bead and my crystal beads all around the edge, and you guys will see how that works, okay? You are passing your needle and thread in between the rice bead, just in case what I'm doing is not doing it, okay? I'm going to slow down now and then show you what I'm doing so you can watch carefully, all right? So we can see the way I'm pulling my needle and thread. So the next thing I'm going to do now is to pass my needle and thread from the bottom of this piece of fabric, pass it upwards, okay? And then once I pass it upwards, the first thing I'm going to insert is my rice bead or my pipe bead, okay? Watch my beading video, that way you know all the names that I'm calling, okay? This is what I'm doing here, all right? Passing my needle and thread through the first rice bead. This rice bead is chunkier than the regular one, so make sure that you buy the right thing when you go to the market. This is it right here on the screen. Feel free to take a screenshot so you know what I'm doing, all right? And the bead that I'm using is the size 4 crystal bead that I'm using with it. Feel free to use your regular pearls or any other type of bead you like. Just feel free to freestyle. I'm just, this is just what I chose to do, all right? So after passing the crystal bead, I passed my needle and thread through the rice bead at the bottom, and then I pulled on it all the way to the bottom of this piece of fabric. I hope you guys got the gist. I'm going to repeat it one more time, and then I'm just going to move really quickly through the entire process. If you didn't understand what I did, most times for first timers it looks a bit difficult, so practice, like I always say, is what will not make you perfect, okay, or give you the improvement that you need in your beading journey. All right, so watch this video as many times as possible, rewind, pause, practice, and I suggest that aside, watching what I'm showing you, try your best to get all the necessary accessories and tools and follow along with me in my tutorials. That way you are able to, understand what I'm saying perfectly. Just watching might not really, do it for you, but if you have your beads with you and you're practicing as you're watching, everything starts to make sense to you. All right, so that's exactly what I'm doing here. I hope you guys saw what I did there. You pass your rice bead, pass your crystal bead, then pass your needle and thread through the rice bead, and then pull all the way down. All right, so I'm going to keep quiet now, allow you guys watch closely, and then I'm just going to fill up the entire edge of this my cluster at the center. All right, I'm sewing this same beading pattern all around it till till there's no longer any space. Okay, all right. Voila guys, so this is what it's supposed to look like if you did everything right. Remember, rice bead and size 4 crystal bead, that's what gave me that end result right there. So the next thing we're going to be working on now is the design at the edge of this piece of fabric that I'm sewing on. All right, and that is a combination of my sequins, my regular black sequins, and size 6 crystal bead. Okay, take note of those sizes. All right, so I just pulled on my sequence right there, and you're sewing the sequence. The sequence typically looks like a plate. Okay, so you are placing the sequence in such a way that it looks like you're placing a plate on a table. Okay, when you get your sequence, you understand what I'm saying. So you now pass your size 6 crystal bead right there, and then push the bead all the way to the bottom like so, and then now pass your needle and thread very close to the edge of your sequence. All right, I'm going to zoom in and then allow you guys see exactly what it is that I'm doing. All right, so pass your needle and thread as close to the edge of the sequence as possible. Voila guys, can you see? All right, so you now pull your needle and thread, pull it very tightly. And also, I didn't mention, make sure that as you are sewing, you are making sure that your sewing is very firm. Don't do any form of loose stitch, if not your work will not look neat. So try and pull on your thread, and don't over pull too, so you don't cut your thread and you now have to start from the beginning. So while sewing, try and bead very firmly. All right, so I'm going to repeat that process again, passing my sequence first, passing my crystal bead next, and then passing my needle and thread through the fabric to secure what it is that I passed. And I'm going to repeat that process all around this piece of fabric that I'm sewing on, and then I will now come back to talk to you guys and show you the next step. All right, if you've been enjoying the video so far, please do well to hit the like button. If you're not subscribed, this is a good time to subscribe. I can tell that you guys are enjoying the video, so please subscribe to the channel and share this video with anybody that you think would love it. All right, all right guys, so this is what it looks like so far. What I'm going to do now is I'm going to go ahead and repeat this same pattern all around till there's no longer space at the edge of this fabric, and voila guys, this is what it looks like. You could stop here if you're tired, but I can still see some space in between where I did that my first beading pattern all around and the edge. Okay, you see that space right there where I'm pointing out exactly. What I'm going to do is I'm going to do some overlapping beading pattern at that point, and this is what you would typically have. If you don't know what the overlapping beading pattern looks like, I have a different beading video. Click on it. I'm going to leave it on the screen. Check out that video so you know how to create your own overlapping beading pattern. And voila guys, this is the end result of this design. Now the next thing I'm going to do is I'm going to make a couple more pieces, because these pieces that I'm beading are what we will use to design our headband. You guys remember the headband that I showed us I think yesterday or a few days ago? Exactly. So I'm just going to make a couple more, maybe 2 or 3, and then move on to the next beading pattern that we are going to be working on in this particular video. Alright guys, so it's time for our next beading pattern. What you need is what we call cup chain, and that's the cup chain I'm going to be using, and another round piece of fabric, and then you need your B6000 glue. So you could decide that you want to sew on your cup chain if that's what you're about, but anybody got time? Okay, so I'm going to be using my B6000 glue to just glue on my cup chain, and I'll start off by applying the glue all around the edge of my round piece of fabric. Okay, and once I've successfully applied the glue all around, all I'll do is I'm just going to place my cup chain on top of it. And just in case you're curious, I'm using the single line cup chain, and this one is the golden iridescent color. Okay, there are different types of metals and the colors of cup chain. Okay, so make sure that you just buy whatever works for you. You don't have to buy you could decide to buy black, you could decide to buy green, red, any color you like. This is just what I chose to use for my own work. Okay, so you see the way I'm placing the cup chain all around carefully, and I'm using my thread snipper to just cut off the cup chain. The cup chain is pretty light. You could use your hand to twist it, or use your scissors or your thread snipper to cut it, anything you like. Okay, whatever rocks your boat. And right after that, I'm just going to leave it to dry, and this is what you should have if you did everything correctly. The next thing we're going to do now is to sew on a piece of clustone at the center of this circle, just like we did the first one. Okay, and I'm using a small size of clustone. Okay, there are different sizes of clustones and shapes, just as you guys can see on the screen. So I chose this marquise, or okay, no, this is not marquise, this is teardrop style. Okay, and it's the same process. Okay, the same way we sewed on the first clustone, that's how we are going to sew this one as well. Pass our needle and thread through the holes at the bottom, and then just do the needful. If you don't know how to do it, rewind. That means you probably skipped the beginning of this video, so rewind, go back and watch the way I sewed the clustone at the beginning of this video, and come back to continue. All right, try not to skip while watching this particular tutorial, because if you skip, chances are you miss out something, and yeah, it might get a bit tricky from there. So try and have some patience and watch to the end. Okay, all right, so now this is just me moving through sewing my clustones really quickly, and now it's be time for us to make our first beading pattern. This beading pattern is the overlapping beading pattern, but this time there's a twist to it, so I'm not going to do too much talking so I don't confuse you. Watch the way I'm passing my needle and thread and passing my beads, and then replicate it. Just in case you're curious, I'm using 5 beads at a time. All right, feel free to tweak it to your own desired quantity. You can decide to do 2 beads at a time, 3 beads, 4, like, just go off. Okay, you don't have to, like I always say, my tutorial is not the Bible. I just give you guys inspiration, and then you can now do with it whatever you please. Okay, all right, so I'm just going to move through this portion really quickly. I suggest that when following my channel for beading and other forms of tutorials, I suggest that you go, if you are new especially, go back and watch my old videos, so you basically get up to speed with what I'm doing, because there's a progression with my tutorials. All right, so chances are if you didn't watch the previous tutorial, the latest one that you're watching might not make sense to you. So go ahead to watch the Funmibi Olawore Designs playlist. That playlist is full of things that will teach you and just help you in your millinery, or just in your creativity journey generally, if you are trying to, break into this fashion designing and headgear designing industry. All right, I'm also on my own journey as well. I've not even arrived at all, but I feel like I have so much to teach people, and that's what I've been doing over the past 2-3 years on here on this channel. All right, so yeah, feel free to subscribe to the channel if you're not subscribed, and just enjoy yourself while learning on this channel. All right, so I decided to just slow down so you guys see the way I'm doing it. You can see this is the end result of everything after we went ahead to do that overlapping pattern all around the edge of this particular piece of fabric. So the next thing we're going to do is still the same overlapping design, but this time we're changing the color and the combination of beads. So you see I'm doing 6 seed beads and 1 size 4 crystal bead at the center. If you didn't see that, rewind and pause and look at the way I placed them and then I went ahead to do the same overlapping design, and this is what the end result looks like. Very beautiful, very gorgeous. If you enjoyed the two beading patterns, hit the like button and drop a comment in the comment section so I come again with another beading pattern video for you guys. Let me know that you guys enjoyed this beading pattern video, okay? So I'll be able to know that you guys love it and come back with more. All right, so I did a bit of wire work beading. If you guys want to see that video, when this video gets to over 1,000 views and 100 likes, I'm going to go ahead and upload the wire work video, okay? So get watching, get sharing, and all that jazz. So now it's just time for me to apply all the bead work that I did. I did a couple of overlapping beading pattern, and the first beading pattern that we did, I did just a few, and then those are the patterns I'm now going to be applying onto my headband. For the application, I might not necessarily be able to walk you through it. Just watch the way I'm placing them and then replicate it on your work, or even do something different. You don't have to do what I'm doing word for word, okay? Feel free to tweak it and add your own spice and ginger to it. Just in case you guys are hearing any noise, somebody is driving into our compound, so sorry for the noise. All right, so just watch the way I'm applying my hot glue and placing the bead work that I just did, and just do you. All right, if you guys enjoyed this video, again, just in case you've not remembered to like the video, please like the video. Also, if you would like me to show you the wire work method, please let me know by dropping a comment and liking this video and sharing as well, so we can get up to 1K views ASAP, and then I'll get to editing and uploading for you guys. So I'm just going to keep quiet now, allow you guys watch the way I'm placing these beaded designs onto my headband, and I'll come back to talk to you guys towards the end of this particular tutorial. All right, friends, so this is it, guys. I hope you all enjoyed this video. This is what the end result of our work looks like. Beading requires patience. If you watched that my first video, you guys remember that I talked about how patience is very important. So yeah, this is the end result. This is what everything looks like. I noticed that I had a few empty spaces after placing my bead work, so I went ahead to use my flat bottom beads to just cover up those points, and the end result of this headband looks absolutely gorgeous. My client loved it. I'm going to try and insert a picture of her with her sisters rocking this particular headband. Like I said earlier, like I've been saying, if you enjoyed this video, please do well to hit the like button, subscribe if you're not subscribed to the channel, and share with your friends and family that you think would love this type of content. Thank you guys so much for clicking and watching. Thank you for your patience, and yeah guys, I can't wait to see you in another awesome tutorial on here on the channel. Till next time, bye bye.